All right, my friends. Welcome to Truth Talk with Tymon. You can see I'm actually sitting in the chair today. I'm in the same library room. This is the big reading chair. Over here, there's some more books and a big window and a big window, and then got the cat thing there. The big bookshelf was up on the other side of me, and the one that I usually just film the front of, and then I have the wood chair that I sit in, and then I usually sit over there. But this time I'm in this big easy chair, so I am in the same room that I usually film my Truth Talks in, right? And I got my laptop on me. I wrote a blog about Trump, actually, if I would have wrote a blog about Trump, it would have been so dang long, and it probably would have been of all the evil and corruption that Trump has did on his first term, and all the evil and corruption he's gonna do right here on his second term. I don't even want to talk about the man because I gotta learn how to try to stay calm over the next 4 years, because I've been getting steamed up. I'm very, very temperamental, every time I see him on TV, because that man is the pinnacle of evil. Instead of talking about the pinnacle of evil, I want to talk about the true pinnacle of good. A man who was actually like Jesus. A man who actually followed his teachings. A man who actually lived his life according to Jesus' teaching. A true Christian man. James Earl Carter, Jimmy Carter, 39th President of the United States. And this is what my blog I wrote was about. It'll be some of my blog and then talk from my heart about Carter. Take out these glasses here. The blog I wrote was called The Honor of Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, 1924 to 2024. He was born as James Earl Carter Jr. in Plains, Georgia, on October 1st, 1974. And he died at his home on December 29th, 2024, at age 100, the oldest living president. He was raised in a poor family. He was a poor country boy. And he was raised on that peanut farm in Plains, Georgia. But this poor country boy ended up becoming a president of the United States. In spite of being poor, he saved up and he worked his way to get into the US Naval Academy. In 1942, and he graduated from the US Naval Academy in 1946 with a physics degree, a nuclear physics degree. He served as a US Naval submarine officer from 1946 to 1953. When he was a lieutenant junior grade, he saved a nuclear power plant in Canada from a meltdown, putting his life on the line. He left the Navy as a lieutenant, gave me up his promotion to lieutenant commander to go home and run the peanut farm after his dad passed. The type of character he had. He could have gone up, stayed in the Navy, worked his way all the way up. You know, with the smarts of Jimmy Carter, he might have been an admiral. Who knows? But instead, he gave all that up. He won the peanut farm because his dad passed. But he made that peanut farm into a multi-million-dollar business. All right? Well, and he used the money for a lot of good. And that's what I'm going to get to. In the 1960s, in politics, first he was a state senator, a Georgian state senator, all right? And then he became the governor of Georgia from 1971 to 1975. And then the 39th president of the United States from 1977 to 1981. As a Democratic president, he focused on being honest. And that I can say that about the majority of the Democratic presidents. Pretty much, in particularly the recent history of presidents, the most honest presidents are the Democrat ones. They don't lie, they don't cheat, they're not stealing like the Republicans do. They don't you know, they don't lie. They say, oh, we can feed the dogs to come in droves and all these lies. Which I do my Trump video that I'm going to have coming up. I mean, he is a sack he's a pathological liar. He's a sack of garbage. You know, he was the same Honest Abe. Honest Abe was a Republican, that's true. But after Abraham Lincoln, you know, the Republican Party was different back then anyway. But between the modern Republican Party and the modern Democratic Party, I'm telling you, it has changed a lot. It changed, the Republican Party changed from Lincoln to the party of Reagan. Now it's the party of Trump, the party of MAGA, the party of hate. But the Democrat Party pretty much has stayed the same. Hasn't changed too much. And Democrats always stick by their values. And Jimmy Carter stuck by his values. He was a man of faith, a man of God, a man of character. Jimmy Carter vowed to always tell the truth, and he did. He always told the truth as a president. Even when he was, you know, even because he created the Department of Energy, even when we were having the long gas lines, which also had under Reagan, even when we were having those long gas lines, and inflation was getting high, and all that, he told the truth. He goes, "Sorry, I messed up. My policy's messed up. We've got to do some more drilling here. We have to get the economy back on track." But he told the truth. He didn't lie, try to make up things, but he told the truth. You can learn a lot from Jimmy Carter. Right? He focused on being a humanitarian, especially with the United Nations. There's a speech that I looked up on YouTube. and it was one of his United Nations speeches, and he said that no person in the United Nations is going to ever be mistreated. No person in the United Nations is ever going to be mistreated. They already talked about the Department of Energy, which he credited the Department of Energy, and he was also for the environment. He was for clean energy. He was for solar energy. That he installed solar panels on the White House. But Ronald Reagan took those solar panels off the White House, and they've been off the White House ever since. Right? It acted the Panama Canal Treaty, the Greenland treaties, and the most important treaty was the Camp David Accord, which is still in effect today. Broken peace between Israel and Egypt. And even though on Trump's first term, and he moved that in the embassy and stood up all that stuff in the Middle East, and I got the war going on in Gaza. Even when all that happened, there's still peace between those two nations in the Middle East, Israel and Egypt. That tells you how strong that treaty held. Jimmy Carter was a diplomat. He never gave up. He was a diplomat. But his downfall was, as the president, sadly, was the Iran hostage crisis. And part of that had to do with the interference of the upcoming president, at that time, Ronald Reagan, 40th president. He secretly brokered a deal with Iran to hold the hostages on the tarmac, after they were freed, to hold them on the tarmac, so that way he would get the credit for the release. That, like I said, that just tells you the corruption of the Republicans, how evil Republicans really are. Though I had a lot of praises for Reagan. I voted for Reagan when I joined the military, because he was building like 600 ship fleet and all that. But in the end, I ended up joining the Democratic Party. I was a registered independent during my military career, and I ended up becoming a Democrat, because Democrats, they're about the party of the highest values. The party of the highest values. Okay. After Jimmy Carter left his presidency in 1981, he gave up his life of politics. Okay. To become a humanitarian for the world. With the creation of the Carter Center, curing diseases in Africa. What was it called, Joe? The Guinea disease. Yeah. Curing the Guinea disease, and then his work for the Habitat for Humanity. Well, Jimmy Carter personally built over 4,000 homes to help with the needy. And he and his wife worked on homes and doing his humanitarian work into the late 90s even, His wife, Rosalind, was born in 1927, and she died in 2023 at the age of 96. Jimmy would be laid to rest next to his wife, Rosalind. Right now, as of today, my wife and I just got done watching the ceremony that was at the White House Rotunda, at the Capitol. But he's gonna be in there It's gonna be open visit, I understood, right, Joe, for the public?
Yeah.
That's in DC. We're not gonna fly to DC though. I wish we could, because that would be a guy that I would definitely love to pay my respects to. A guy that you could really look up to, you know. His children, who are all still alive, Jack Carter was born in 1947. James L. Carter III was born in 1950. Jeff Carter was born in 1952. And Amy Carter was born in 1967. They're all still alive. He has a lot of nieces, nephews, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. The Carter family is a big family. And what a name to really be carried on. You know, doing the humanitarian work. They're probably going to carry on that work. You know, there will never be another great humanitarian like Jimmy Carter, a man who lived his life by faith in God. Jehovah, but there's democratic values and principles. A man who lived his life like Jesus lived his life. Jimmy Carter lived a simple life, giving to others. That's what a true man of God does. He was the pinnacle. He was Jimmy Carter's quote. The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices. The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices. Jimmy Carter, 1924 to 2024. I have the blog. The blog paraphrases pretty much everything that I was just talking about. I'll post a link to my blog at the end of this video, but let's have a moment of silence for Jimmy Carter. This is my Life of Jimmy Carter video. Follow me on my Truth Talk channel. Follow me on my main channel. Or I do a lot of family videos on my main channel. I do some karate videos, workout videos. I got some other Truth Talk ones coming up. Of course, the one I'm going to be talking about with about Trump, pretty much going to be about the lies he told and all this stuff. My next one actually is going to be about the legacy of Biden, because we can't let Biden's legacy die. You know, all the stuff that Biden did for our country, and it's going to be carried over to this next Trump regime. Hopefully Trump doesn't destroy it too much. That's actually my next video. And then there's going to be a list of other videos coming up. Comment below any video ideas that you have. I'm going to be doing the one that I promised before. One about the generations, about the different generations. I'm going to be doing some Christian videos. I'm going to be talking about one God of man, how we all technically worship the same God, and how that is, how these religions are tied together. So I'm going to have all kinds of different videos coming up here on this Truth Talk. Guys, take care. God bless. See you in the next video.